coming into the day. We had a strong spike in channel trend day on Friday, and it tried to reverse into the close. I moved the trend channel line and trend line, but this poked below, and then that poked above the channel. First bar of the day is a bull bar. I think it's unlikely to be a trend from the first bar bull after such strong selling. As I mentioned, I'm going to be looking for an EMA gap bar short for a test of the bear low, either a higher low or a lower low. Okay. The problem with this bar is the amount of overlap. Technically, it's an acceptable short. It's the first gap bar, the first bar with a low above the moving average after a big bear. So if you're going to swing it, I think it's okay. As far as scalping it goes, there's room to the moving average. But I'm always uncomfortable when I see a strong bear reversal bar that overlaps the prior bar too much, because then I start thinking of it more as a two-bar reversal, in which case the short is below the low of the lower of the two bars. Turn into a high 2 long setup. This is the high 1, that's the high 2. But because I'm looking for an EMA gap bar short, to me this is only a scalp on the long side. If it turns into a strong bull day, I'll look to get in later. At this point, I'm placing sell stops below the lows of the prior bars for an EMA gap 2 short. So that's the gap 1, and below here would be the next attempt, and below here would be another attempt. You could also argue wedge bear flag, one push up, 2 pushes up, 3 pushes up. But to me, the most important feature is the gap 2, and these are pretty reliable signals, and they tend to trend much further than what they appear that they should. So I usually try to take at least a couple points out of trades like that. Never end up taking as many as I should. Good looking entry bar closed on its low, falling through the moving average and the open of the day. Small enough range so that there will be shorts who sell below this low. After the first bar, there's a spike up and a spike down. So traders will buy above the high spike, and they'll short below the low spike. I personally wouldn't buy above that spike. I think buying above this bar is okay. To me, buying above that spike is too risky. Okay, and then double bottom over here. Possible short. The market's down for about 5 bars, and it may go down to a better test of the low. I don't think that's a good enough test of the low, so I suspect it's probably going to be more down. However, whenever you have a gap bar swing short after a trend line break, it usually sets up the final leg of the trend. So I'm expecting this to be the last leg of the bear, and that there should be a 2-legged move sideways to up, and could last a couple hours, could last all day. Close on its low. Usually you can short that on the close. You get a breakout bar closed on its low, so there's almost certainly going to be more down. Smaller bar closed on its low, there's almost certainly going to be more down. If you trade stuff like this, you got to use wide stops, because sometimes the market pulls back, and I think it pulled back here. What about shorting? Buying this, you got a spike and a little channel, another sell climax, 2-bar sell climax here. I would rather look to buy a breakout pullback. This is down pretty hard. It's a breakout below the low of the day also, so there may be a pullback short. And there was. This is comparable to this. Not quite as much overlap. And this had strong momentum going into it. And it's a channel breakout, so there should be another push down. This did not have a strong bear move going into it on the day. So this is a more likely short. But because we might be near the low of the day, I would only scalp. The market's trying to do a 2-bar reversal here, or it's actually 3 bars, but a second attempt up above yesterday's low. I believe I did place a buy stop above here. I don't like this bar being that much below this bar, but this could be a little spike and channel, and it could be the low of the day. Second attempt to reverse yesterday's low. Instead fell to the downside. You got a little micro wedge here. Second attempt up. Not a great looking signal bar. I ended up not buying this, and not for the reasons that you might think. I was trying to place option orders for call orders to buy for a swing up, and I tried 2 or 3 times moving my order up, and the market kept going up, and ended up not getting into my calls. At the same time, I ended up not getting into this. Normally, I'm able to get into the calls and hold them for a swing. but I was probably too greedy, and I was chasing it up and not getting filled. And in the meantime, this is a possible low of the day, so I missed it. Good entry bar, possible final flag. You got a sell climax here, and then one more push down, final flag. That's usually a fairly reliable setup for at least a couple legs up. Strong move up here, so there probably will be at least a second leg up. First pause after 3 or 4 up bars. That should be good for a scalp, but it might be a 1-bar final flag, and the market may be forming a wedge bear flag with this or this as number 1. Okay, now you got possible final flag. If you short it, I would only scalp. This is so much upward momentum that there should be a second leg. And after a lower low and a trend line break and a gap bar, there's usually a higher low. So if you short that, I think you got to be prepared to reverse to long on the higher low. Okay, first attempt up, not ideal after 3 strong bear bars. Okay, this is an II, so the market went up and went down and was making a second attempt up. I think that's okay. I don't know about it being the low of the day or the higher low. To me, this is pretty strong down, so there probably will be one more opportunity to buy. Okay, not a great looking signal bar for a short. You got a double top here, so it's a double top bear flag. Here's the bear, here's the double top. I didn't short it. To me, I think always in is long, and I think the market should go up. You got a double bottom. A lot of times you get a double top and a double bottom, and then you start looking for double top and double bottom pullbacks. Since I think always in is long, I'm only looking to buy. Breakout of the double top on a trading range day. Yeah, it could be a trend reversal and could become a bull day, but at this point it's a trading range day, so I'm not buying a breakout. Breakout pullback, so now that is an acceptable long. I personally would only be scalping on a trading range day at the top of a smaller trading range. Okay, an attempt to reverse down the second time. I placed a sell stop below this low, didn't get filled. I did not buy above because this is not strong enough for me to be buying a leg. Unfortunately, I didn't short this. There was also a trend line down here that I didn't draw in, but I was hoping for a second entry short, and didn't materialize. This is a little spike and 3 pushes up. It is 2 legs up on the day, and it was just about a measured move, also just about an AB equals CD. So it was a reasonable short, and it was a reasonable always in reversal to short. Instead, I got greedy and I was looking for a second entry, and that's not a great one. That's shorting too low below the high, and this is enough strength up for me to not want to be shorting that low down. Market's coming down pretty hard, so there probably will be more low, a lower low in here. But again, double bottom. I'm hoping that this will hold and form a double bottom pullback long setup. Low 2 short, but we're getting into the area where I think the market should try to reverse up. If you short the low 2, I think it's only a scalp. This was tricky in here. I don't think that's a good scalp because this is down pretty hard, and we're starting to get a bunch of sideways, 2-sided price action here. But I mentioned that I thought it was an okay swing because it's a possible double bottom pullback, and the market could test this high, and it could become an AB equals CD up. Possible low 2 short, but to me I think the always in trade is now long for a possible swing up. I bought more in here, and I get out too early. I think I got out of everything at 2 points. I don't think I tried to get 4 points here. But really good looking bars here. No tail, no tail, no tail, small tail. So there's probably going to be more up